Joining me right now, we have Shaniqua McClendon, head of Vote Save America and Crooked Media vice president of political strategy, and Carlos Curbelo, we have probably former Florida Republican congressman, now an MSNBC political analyst. Not sure why I tripped on that one, because I know that one well, Carlos. Anyway, you are from Florida, so the epicenter of the political earthquake, it's there. What are you hearing about why Trump is making these specific choices?
Well, Alex, you said it. Donald Trump feels emboldened. He feels very confident. He feels like he has a mandate. He campaigned transparently, to be fair. He said he was going to do all these things, and he is going to do them. And you heard a lot of people during the campaign say, take Donald Trump seriously. Well, here we are. And I think the big question now, or maybe the only question is, are Senate Republicans going to confirm all of these nominees? We already saw them stand up to Trump when it came to Matt Gaetz. 5 senators came out early and said, no way, no how. We'll see what happens now with Kash Patel, with Tulsi Gabbard, Hegseth. Those are the most controversial nominees, and Senate Republicans will either have the courage to stand up to the president, say some of these are not qualified, or they're going to fall in line. We saw on Meet the Press earlier today, Senator Hagerty of Tennessee, who essentially said that he was going to support all of Donald Trump's nominees, no matter who he put forward. Now, we know there's 4 or 5, maybe 6 senators who aren't in that position. What decision they make in the coming weeks is going to determine the outcome of all of this.
Do you want to weigh on this, Shaniqua? I mean, will Republican senators play long? Do you think Trump's trusted brawlers can win confirmation votes?
You know, I'd like to think that they would do their jobs, but something that has remained just really top of mind for me are the 2 impeachment trials that Donald Trump went through. And Republicans had 2 opportunities to convict him during those impeachment trials. And had they done that, he wouldn't have been able to run for president again. And so as much as I would like to think that they will do their jobs, they've had the opportunity in the past and have not done it. So, you know, I don't have my hopes up high.
Did you think a lot of it matters on what actually gets presented? I mean, is there anything that Americans will be able to watch? I mean, if there's really salacious details or concerning issues, Shaniqua, will that force Republicans to consider?
So it might, but I think what might be an easier path, look at Matt Gaetz. I think if journalists and Democrats really dive into these people's personal lives and start showcasing the stuff that they do not want out in the open, these people will remove themselves. I think that Democrats will play a really important role in these confirmation hearings and really digging in and asking the tough questions and putting these people kind of on their heels to answer for it. It will also make Republicans look bad in these confirmation hearings if a lot of this stuff comes out and they are just, a rubber stamp on whatever Donald Trump wants.
So this question to you, Carlos, because there's another tidbit to share. It's from Axios. Musk, the most powerful and persistent voice in Trump's ear, has been relentless in pushing radical reform, often asking if the nominee embodies radical reform, with the instincts to blow it up to rebuild. How much control does Elon Musk have?
Elon Musk has a lot of influence. I don't know about control, because Donald Trump's in charge and he doesn't like to share control and power with anyone, but he does give people the opportunity to weigh in. And I certainly saw this during the first term, the people who he likes, who he trusts, who he admires. And Elon Musk, being the richest man in the world, is certainly someone who Donald Trump admires. Musk is going to have a lot of influence. And look, I think a lot of times it makes sense to bring business thinking and principles into politics, but at the same time, the political world is not the business world, and not everything that works in the business world works in the political world. So I think people like Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, they're going to be very influential, but they're also going to run across some of the checks and balances that exist in government that don't exist in business. And I think at least some of the time, they're going to end up being frustrated because they're not going to be able to move as rapidly as they'd like to.
Last word to you, Shaniqua, on this. I'm curious your thoughts on this blow it up to rebuild prospect.
Yeah, I think they are going to run into a lot of resistance that's just built into our system. But I ultimately think that Elon Musk does have a tremendous amount of influence right now. We saw that he spent Thanksgiving at Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump and his family. But at some point, these two are going to clash. These are two men who like to be in the limelight. Right now, they feel like they are making each other, cooler to the rest of us. But at some point, Donald Trump's going to get sick of Elon Musk getting too much attention. And something I'm also, really interested to see is this clash between business leaders who are coming into this administration and a lot of the MAGA faithful. I think we're going to start seeing clashes around things like mass deportations and these tariffs, which are going to be at odds. MAGA wants one thing, business leaders want another thing as it concerns their bottom line. So I think that it's going to come to a head and they're going to have a falling out.
All right, TBD for sure. Shaniqua and Carlos, good to see you both. Thank you so much.